Welcome to this week's episode of Bushnell Presents Prairie Pursuit. I'm your host, Greg Toogood. This week, heading north with Jacob and Dad for an archery elk hunt.
See elk in here, and the ones you do see, you shoot.
Bushnell presents Prairie Pursuit, brought to you by Bushnell, built for the pursuit. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. JB Sausage Supply, your one-stop shop. North Pro Sports, performance archery and arms. And these fine sponsors.
You know, coming in here late at night, we prefer to show up in the light, but there always seems to be so much going on. We show up in the dark again, get ourselves unpacked, get the cooler set up with ice, because we're going to be camping in for a few days. Jacob never wants to run the generator, so everything is going to be ice. You got to keep things nice and quiet. That's perfect. You're going to be able to see through that and everything.
Then you can feel around with your hands and you can walk.
Yeah.
You're gonna.
Yep. Perfect. On the way up, I picked up about 20 bales of alfalfa from a local farmer. It's just a great bait to have out. A second cut alfalfa bale seems to be a little bit like candy for the critters, so I like to get those out this time of year. And got some peas from Twin Lake Feeds, and I think it's going to be good. It's an archery hunt. It's tough. We're usually battling warm weather, which again it is this week. You know, we're plus 20, and we're usually battling a lot of bugs, but the bugs seem to be not around this year, which we're thankful for.
Where I was, I had mosquitoes. Literally, I had mosquitoes. And I finally got my thermocell running and stopped them, but I kept bugging Greg about the mosquitoes, and he said he didn't have it.
No matter where I sat, there was no mosquitoes. Maybe I got a natural like repellent coming out of me. I don't know what's going on.
That's very cool. Oh, it goes up, goes higher than your head.
Yeah, that's definitely a fresh elk grub. Oh, they're for sure in the area. I mean, that's why we're walking through the bush with bows. We know they're in this area. It's a little telltale sign that they are here for sure.
I want to go on this trail. Good.
Bad idea to go and check out some public land, and we found a pretty well-traveled area by wildlife. Looks like lots of good elk sign. We saw that one rub. Pretty solid trail, and I think probably even some smells. Yeah, sounds like it smelled. No luck with the bow. If anything, we just found probably a pretty decent spot to sit with the rifle in a couple weeks. It's not too far from where we normally hunt, which is nice.
Mm.
Cool. there's a truck. And then, yeah, we're gonna head back to the truck, grab some groceries, maybe even have a nap. I'm gonna need one. Yeah, and get into the stand for the night.
We're seeing some animals, so it's just fantastic to spend some time together out here, get in the stands early morning.
Coming up here for me with my son Greg and grandson Jacob is just a dream. I mean, this is my place of joy up here with them here. Greg is saying we're out in the middle of nowhere, and it's just unreal.
It's a great time outdoors and some fantastic weather and a great chance to see some elk in the early season. So I sent Jacob in to his spot where he's actually got a couple of elk with his bow already. So he had a stick blind because we didn't get up here as much as we'd like to prepare for the fall. And how'd the stick blind go?
It looked good at the start. We felt really hidden. The wind was in a good direction, and there's a swamp behind us, so nothing looked crossing the swamp. But a cow and calf came in, and they were on high alert as soon as they came in. They saw us right away. They were checking us out to figure out what we were, and the wind ended up swirling, and they were gone.
You never see elk in here, and the ones you do see, you shoot. And this year I said to myself and everybody, don't shoot a cow. And sure enough, a cow and calf walk in the first morning. That's unbelievable.
I've been trying to get an elk for 20 years now this year, and showed Jacob how to do it and get out, and he's got the patience, and I don't know, he seems to be in the right place at the right time, but managed to get a couple elk with his bow the last few years. And I'm yet to do it, so he rubs it in every chance that he can.
Well, about 15 minutes ago we sent out a bugle, and there's a bunch of cow calls right after the dad heard, because we didn't cow call after. And a few minutes after that there's a bugle. That was not us either. And there's no other hunters around here. They're not allowed to be. So, I've already seen two this morning. Hearing cow calls right after the bugle, and another one that's very clearly an elk. Hopefully we can get one in here.
Very common here. It's a great spot to sit. You look at the trail cameras are telling us that there's animals here. Like consistently throughout the whole year, but it's also consistently the same story as when it comes to this time of year, the animals disappear. So we're here just putting in time and hoping for that one opportunity for one to make a wrong decision. I went like 20, 30, 40, I'm good, I'm happy, and you guys...
So we go 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. We're
shooting your bows at 100 yards is crazy.
lost some arrows, and we're hitting the target every time, but a little bit of shooting competition between us.
Yeah, you're like 18 now, so you can buy your own arrows, right? Yeah, you're on your own now. Yeah. It's not coming out of Dad's pocket. It's pretty awesome. I mean, to see those arrows fly like 80, 90, and 100 yards, it's impressive. And hitting that small little target at that distance, so impressive shooting and gives you confidence, obviously, when you're going out there and setting yourself up at 20 yards. I mean, it feels like a chip shot. So it's pretty frequent that we'll sit here days on end without seeing an actual animal. Whatever happens this time of year, like I said, they disappear. Maybe it's the food, maybe it's their change in habits or their mating seasons or whatever it is. There's crops coming off, there's just so many variables. The seasons are changing, their patterns are changing, so it's challenging because you see them do a certain thing throughout the entire year, and then right when it comes time to be hunting season, it all changes. So you got to replan things.
Super calm, cool. We're hearing lots of calls this morning. A little bit of raking in the bush too. So hopefully tonight with this calm wind, cool temperatures, elk will be moving.
So get into North Troll Sports in Saskatoon or go on to northtrollsports.com for all your Bushnell optics, all your Hornady ammunition, all your Savage firearms, Badlands gear, dry shot, primos, you name it. Get into North Troll Sports, get yourself kitted up and ready to go for next hunting season.
So last year we got the opportunity to see an amazing caller. He helped us bring in a beautiful bull for me last year with my draw tag. And he had one specific call and he had a hard time finding it. And I ended up actually finding one and I wanted to learn how to use it. So I practiced for probably a week, tried to figure out this call, and it sure seemed to work this weekend.
It sounded exactly like what we were listening to Brett do last year, and we were seeing animals. So whether it was the calling or
Coincidence?
who knows, but we'll call it the calling because it did sound good and the animals were listening to it. Well, we're morning at day 2, and we've seen the elk every day, which is not something that normally happens around here, so that's a good day. Dad he said he needed 3 more seconds to squeeze the trigger, and the elk turned and went to the bush. So
And I stood up and ranged it and took the safety off and was just about to squeeze, and she turned and walked into the bush just nice and gently away, and all I had was the back end to look at.
Hey? That was okay.
back at camp, have some breakfast, regroup, make a plan, get back in the stand for another long sit this evening. There's elk around, which is great. I haven't seen a single thing yet the entire trip, but we're only on day 2, so again, some breakfast, a nap, and we'll make a plan. Greg will join you tonight, and you sit Grace's.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to Caleb's. On this particular hunt, after so many years of archery elk hunting, a spike bull elk made its way into the bait. I drew back, took a deep breath, settled down, and sent the arrow. So when I shot this elk, there was another small elk that made its way across the field and right into the bush where my elk went. So I sent Jacob a text message and let him know.
Just let Jacob and Greg know.
I said there's a second one that went into the bush, and to get ready, it might come out his way. It's a bag of peas, they're clean, they're perfect, and the wildlife love them. Whether it's a deer, elk, or moose, they're all in there. It really brings in the critters to let you know what's in the area. They love it so much, we gotta keep going back and we gotta keep feeding them too. So when I shot this elk, there was another small elk that made its way across the field and right into the bush where my elk went. So I sent Jacob a text message and let him know.
Just let Jacob and Greg know.
I said there's a second one that went into the bush, and to get ready, it might come out his way. Not long after that, Jacob was sending me a message, super excited again, telling me that he's got another elk down. Yeah!
I was just sitting in this blind, and an elk came through the middle of a freaking swamp. Came through here, came right to me. 5-yard shot, shows on Garmin. Arrow went right through him. Beautiful spiker. Arrowed right through him. He didn't go anywhere. Arrow was just coated. That reed's brought it. He didn't go anywhere.
Unbelievable. He shot this one at 5 yards. That elk that I watched go into the bush from my stand after I shot mine walked right to Jacob and walked right past him at 5 yards.
Went absolutely nowhere. It's exactly what you want. He was dead within a second or two. Beautiful bull on home property, and a heart shot at that. Awesome. So cool.
He was pumped, just a really cool young bull with small little velvet nubs.
Beautiful spiker. So cool.
So unbelievably, we potentially had 2 bull elk down. It's time to go take a look. We started tracking this elk, found a lot of blood, found what we thought was good lung blood, and just kept tracking and tracking and tracking until we came up empty-handed. So going from this extreme high for me to this incredible low, and then trying to shift gears and go over and be excited for Jacob was super tough. But this was his 3rd elk with his bow. Unbelievable.
That was a crazy evening.
That was crazy.
Holy moly.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
We set out on our very last evening of archery elk here, northern Saskatchewan.
I heard it crashing behind me. All it was a slew. I was like, there's no way an elk's gonna come behind me. And I just peeked my head around, and here's this elk. He was standing like 4 yards from the blind, which is insane. And then he ran maybe 20.
You got the tail end.
Tipped right over.
You got the tail end of the video of him tipping
Yeah.
over. I got the whole kill shot on mine. I don't have my elk. Jacob didn't get the kill shot on his, and he's got his. Oh man, what a crazy evening. It's been a wild week with a lot of different things going on. And I'm really disappointed I didn't get to find my elk tonight, but I'm super excited for you. This is your 3rd now, archery elk. I thought I was like back up on you when I shot mine tonight. This is your third archery elk out of the exact same blind.
It's unbelievable. Like, this one happened exactly how you want. You want him to come close. You want him to be right on top of you, make a perfect heart shot, and he was down within seconds. Like 2 seconds he was on the ground, and that's, you didn't even feel it. It's exactly what you want.
Perfect shot. A near perfect evening. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of memories, a lot of stories to tell from this our archery season this year.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of elk, and we're going home with one for sure, and hopefully two.
Hopefully 2 tomorrow morning.
See. Yeah. Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks.
That's awesome. Yeah, super proud of you. Nice job.
Thanks.
Now Jacob being older, he turned 18 last year, and now he has the ability to take his friends out. So in the elk season, he brought his buddy Logan up to camp. They set up to try and get Logan his very first elk. Watch this.
Think so.
Oh, that's awesome. Congrats, dude.
Thanks. So leave it to Jacob to set up, to have an elk come in, and to capture it on film. Meat in the freezer for everybody and for their families. Such an awesome experience. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Bushnell Presents Prairie Pursuit. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Bushnell presents Prairie Pursuit. Brought to you by Bushnell, built for the pursuit. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. JB Sausage Supply, your one-stop shop. North Pro Sports, performance archery and arms. And these fine sponsors: